Good morning, everybody. My name is Rodolfo Hernandez Guerrero from Intercultural Programs at UT Dallas. Welcome, everybody, to the first information session of new international students attending UT Dallas in the fall 2022, fall 2022. In this session is going to be recorded and we'll be muting everybody for purposes of efficiency of this info session. Presenters will be sharing the material and the recommendations for all the audience. Just for all of us to know, everybody's attending from around the world, from many different regions, different countries and cultures, and that implies a very complex logistical organization right here. So that implies that for us to keep the best organization, the best order to ensure that we convey the message to everybody. Again, welcome to the first info session of Intercultural Programs for new international students attending UT Dallas in the fall 2022. I will have the privilege and the honor to introduce Leticia Samaripa, Director of Global Engagement, who will provide the official welcome remarks to everybody. Thank you. Leticia?
Excuse me, please open your microphone. Okay.
That's a very good point. Thank you so much. I turned the camera, but not the microphone. Welcome, everyone. We are very pleased to have you here, that you dedicate this time to join us. Hopefully, this session will be very useful for you. I'm going to review some logistics prior to presenting. Rodolfo, can you share the slides, please? Can you go to the next slide? Okay, events, logistics. You can see and hear us, but we cannot see you or hear you at this stage. We have muted the microphones and we will be open them up at the end of the session. We would like to hear your questions. The chat will be open as well at the end. We just feel that it will be best if we go through the presentation and then at the end, if you have questions, we are here for you. That's what we want to hear. If you have any question concerning all the material that we will review, please let us know. The event, as Rodolfo mentioned, will be recorded and it will be posted on our webpage on YouTube. So you can always go back and review whatever material that you would like to review again. Feel free to do so. Next slide, please. Okay, so the session today is next steps for incoming international students. I guess most of you will be coming next fall, so we will be reviewing step by step what you should be doing now. I mean, 2 months before you arrive. Can you go to the next slide, Rodolfo, please? And I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate you for your admission to UT Dallas. As I mentioned, the purpose of these information sessions are to review the most critical processes that any international student goes through in preparation to arriving to UT Dallas. I'm sure a lot of you have received our emails preparing for arrival. We really hope that those have been useful for you. But these information sessions, what we want is to concentrate in each session with different topics going more in depth in each one. And of course, the most important thing for us is to interact with you. We are presenting all this information, but we want to know if it's clear for you. And if you have any questions, this is the time for us to answer it. I'm gonna take just a couple of minutes to introduce our team and let you know who we are before we go into the rest of the presentation. We are the Intercultural Programs team. That is the name of our department. And my name is Leticia Samarripa. I'm director of the department, director of global engagement. You already heard Rodolfo Hernandez. He will be joining me in presenting some of the material as well. He is our assistant director. We have Anthony Richard Cahill. He's our program coordinator. And we have 3 students working with us, 3 international students working with us that help us with the bridge of communication with you guys. That will be also students. And their names are Flower Mangwi and Jajati Kanakia and Apurva Gupta. So this is our team. And I would like to share with you what we do, why we are here with you. Can you go to the next slide, please, Rodolfo? So our mission, hold on just one second. Our mission is twofold. We take care of 2 main aspects. The first one is you, international students. We support the integration of international students into campus life. How we do this, and I'm gonna be talking about orientation in a minute, with transitional programs such as orientation, among other programs that we have for you, and also supporting the students all year long. We are an office that can direct you to the right office. We are very decentralized, but always think about us to help you facilitate and inform you about where to go when you need something. So we provide support all year long again, and we offer some transitional programs. One of them, and very important, is orientation. I will be talking about it in a minute. The other part of our job, which is also very important, is to promote among the university community opportunities that foster global engagement. And we do this through intercultural and cultural programs. You are coming to a university that is very diverse. We are very proud of our student population, our international student population. We do have representation of over 100 cultures, which is amazing, and it is a very rich environment. I'm sure you will enjoy this part of UT Dallas, among other things. We, as a team, we are multicultural. I am from Mexico. Rodolfo is from Mexico also. Our student workers, 2 of them are from India. One of them is from Kenya. And Anthony, our program coordinator, is from the US. So it's a very multicultural team. This part is important because we feel that we can empathize with you in terms of coming into a different country and trying to adapt, assimilate, and get all the information you need. Next slide, please. So the first topic, and also the first step, is orientation. We know is mandatory, and you know by now that is mandatory. A lot of you have already registered for orientation in the different options that we offer in terms of dates. But I want to talk about a little bit about the importance of orientation. You're coming into a new country, and you will find that we do have different norms, different policies, different language, of course, and different ways of doing things. So we hope that by attending orientation, you will find this information very useful for you to be successful, for you to understand how things are managed in the United States, and specifically at UT Dallas. That is very important, and that's why we make it mandatory. Now, don't look at it only for the mandatory part. It will be a fun event for you. Why? Because you will have the opportunity to meet a lot of international students that, as you, will be new students into the UT Dallas campus. So think about it as a resource for you. We take care of structuring and presenting you the most important information, at least for your successful beginning. So the first step is register. Register for International Student Orientation. You can find, excuse me, you can find that on our webpage. Please look at the dates that better fit you. We offer orientation for 3 weeks, the first, the second, and the third week of August. We actually open up an extra session the Friday before classes start, because there is a lot of demand. We know that some of you have visa appointments later on in the summer, and we want to make sure that we accommodate that need. So please register. Can you go back, Rodolfo? So as I mentioned, it is required for all international students, all F1 and J1. If some of you do have a different visa, you are always welcome also to attend international orientation. The only difference is that it's not mandatory. Now, it is optional also for freshmen and transfer or undergraduate students. We do recommend that freshmen and transfer students who are undergraduates attend their own freshman and transfer orientation. But if you additionally would like to attend international student orientation, you're most welcome. Next slide, please. The orientation is composed of different parts. One of it is, of course, these orientation sessions. These orientation sessions, we hope that you get the information that is necessary prior to arrival. But on top of that, we do have an e-learning modules that will prepare you in a more specific ways to better understand the UT Dallas processes, and we call it online pre-arrival models. These are meant for you to do during the summer prior to arrival and prior to the in-person orientation session. So please, if you have not completed them, go ahead and do it. That information, we really hope that will complement everything that you need to do as you prepare for arrival. Of course, I already mentioned the in-person orientation sessions are August 2nd, August 9th, and the one that we just opened up a few days ago is on August 19th. Please register, and if you have any questions, please let us know. I'd like to take the opportunity to let you know that we have put all the information concerning orientation in the UT Dallas app. That will be a very easy way for you to just click and look at the information that is important concerning all these pre-arrival time before you get to UT Dallas. So please download the application and it will be for your convenience, not only to access information about orientation, but also to access information about any other resource at UT Dallas. Please go to the next slide. Okay, I would like to remind you that international student orientation is different than immigration. If you have any question concerning your immigration status, there is an office that is dedicated to this, and this office is called ISSO, International Student and Scholars Office. Anything that has to do with your visa, they are ready to help you, and please contact them. At the end, we will include in the chat some of the most relevant links and or emails that we are mentioning through the presentation for you, just to have it at hand. Next slide, please. Okay, pre-arrival resources. I want to share with you that we have dedicated a lot of time to have a very comprehensive information for you guys that are new international students. And on our website, there is a tab that is called pre-arrival resources. I just want you to be aware of all the resources you can consult on our webpage. And I'm going to mention them just briefly. The new international student checklist, that is a very comprehensive checklist that will guide you into all the UT Dallas processes as a new UT Dallas international student. Actually, we have divided it into pre-arrival, what you need to do pre-arrival, which is pretty much what we will be reviewing in this session, and the post-arrival checklist. And please consult it. It will be like a master document for you to guide you through all the processes. Of course, the information sessions, which are these, that will go all through the summer, and we hope that you join us not only in this information session, but in the next following information session. We do have information about housing. Please consult it. It's relevant information about all the departments that are surrounded in UT Dallas, so please consult that part. We also have a section for travel guide to UT Dallas, including transportation, a service that we offer for pickup in partnership with the Big Howdy community members. We also have prepared a new guide for international students. We talk about different departments and policies of UT Dallas. Please consult it as well. We also have a link for the cultural organization. That will be the best advice we can think about for you as a new international student. We have cultural organizations such as the Indian Student Organization, the FACS, which is assisting Chinese students. We have a lot of organizations that you could belong to get more specific advice. For example, for people from India, what will be the best advice? And actually, we will have an orientation session with them as well that we do recommend because it's run by students and it will be very helpful for you. And also we have a link to the newcomer to North Texas, especially for those who have families. There is information concerning education, schools, and all the North Texas area. There is a link mentioned, or if you can see it on the screen, but we will make sure to put it on the chat at the end of the session. Please review it. And if you still have questions, of course, we're here to answer them. But I think that it might be worth it for you to dedicate some time to see all these resources. Next slide, please. Okay, we talk about orientation. We talk about the pre-arrival resources that we ask you to review. They will be helpful. Now let's talk about health, and specifically the TB test. The TB test is a tuberculosis test that all international students should take the moment they arrive to the United States. It is mandatory for all students born outside the United States. How do you register to comply with this process at UT Dallas? Once you register for orientation, you will receive a message with a lot of details concerning orientation and the TB test, and you will receive a link that you should access that link for you to register or to schedule your TB test at UT Dallas. That link, if you have registered for orientation already, that link is not active right now. It will be active. Please schedule it after July 1st. That is the way the health center is organizing it. It has worked well in the past. Usually you will be able to have the test either a few days or a day prior orientation or a day after. So we have place for everyone. So please do not access the link before July 1st, but after July 1st, please make sure to do it. Please go ahead with the next slide. Health insurance. Health insurance is also mandatory for all international students, F1, F2, J1, and J2. And this is very important. You need to be covered. Health services in United States could be very expensive, so you need to be covered, and this is why we make it mandatory at UT Dallas. Now, there are the coverage, this is very important also for you. The coverage will start on August 1st and it goes by semester. So for next semester, for all the fall incoming students, your coverage will start on August 1st and will end on December 31st. And then of course you will be enrolled after it expires. You will be, this is something very important, you don't have to worry to enroll yourself in the health insurance. UT Dallas, knowing you are an international student, will enroll you automatically. Now, if some of you, for some reason, have a special insurance, there is a way, as long as it is a very equivalent health insurance, there is a way to waive it. So if you have a comprehensive health insurance and would like to explore whether you are able to waive it with the UT Dallas health insurance, please consult the health center, and we're sharing in this presentation the link. We will also share the link, as I mentioned, at the end of the chat. Now, something to think about is that having the local health insurance sometimes facilitates things. And UT Dallas provides a very comprehensive health insurance, not only for students, also for employees. And we know that because it is the same health insurance that covers faculty, staff, and students. So please, if you have more questions concerning health insurance, please consult the webpage of the health center. They manage the health insurance. And if you feel you have a comprehensive health insurance, please consult the webpage where they talk about waiver. And you will see what are the requirements for a possible waive of your health insurance. We will be talking more about health insurance. There are cultural differences that you will learn about in orientation, but you don't need to do that right now. We want to just mention the basic information you should know as you are preparing for arrival. So check the health insurance. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm gonna be talking very briefly about some information concerning COVID, just for you to be aware. Concerning face mask, that is a question we asked. Are we required to wear mask at UT Dallas? UT Dallas always encourage the using mask, especially when COVID is high. Right now, fortunately, it is very controlled, but as we all know, there are waves. So always try to protect yourself. We cannot require students or faculty or staff to use mask. That is a mandate that the governor had made. We as a public university, we cannot require mask. We only promote it. Especially during a high season, or for example, if you will be attending international student orientation, that is a large event. A lot of people, we will be there. So we highly encourage to wear it. So that is concerning a mask. Can you go on, Rodolfo, for the next slide, please? Now, concerning international travel, I'm sure you know the United States require all visitors to be vaccinated when you get to the United States, and also it requires a negative test. Right now, the standard is 24 hours before arrival. You have to have a negative test, a COVID test. So just be prepared as you are getting ready to schedule your ticket, your plane ticket to get to UT Dallas. Always consider about these requirements so you can save time a day before to get your COVID test prior to boarding. That will be required. Now, in general, I would recommend, please periodically check the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention. That is an agency, a public agency in the United States that gives all the recommendation concerning COVID. As we all know, situations change, but make sure that to review it periodically, and rest assured that UT Dallas follows any of the recommendations of the CDC. So by looking at the CDC, you are also looking at what UT Dallas is doing concerning COVID. The university is very proud of having had a very controlled way of preventing COVID on campus. And we had a lot of programs that help us prevent that. I just wanted to mention because it's something to be proud of. Next slide, please. Vaccination, just for your reference, even though, of course, the United States as government required you to be vaccinated prior to arrival. If you are already here for some reason, I want to let you know that UT Dallas do not require or mandate people to be vaccinated. We do promote it as a way to prevent COVID on campus, but we do not require it per se. And this is something that, I thought it was important for you because any of you might be under a special circumstance or already in the US, and I just wanted to ratify that we as a university do not require it. We do promote it though. Next slide. And I'm gonna share with Rodolfo. He will be our assistant director. He will be speaking to you about additional information that is important to you as next steps prior to arrival. And we'll see you at the end of the presentation to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Leticia. This has been very helpful. Give me 1 second right here, taking care of some technicalities. Okay. Well, as you know, you have a lot of information in front of you, and Leticia has been providing a very comprehensive list of items for you to consider in your whole process before arriving to UT Dallas. We can see in the chat that there are many questions. You have certainly doubts, concerns, and will be, to the extent possible, we'll answer all of them at the end of the presentation. And we have a dedicated Q&A, a question and answer session to cover all these questions for all of you. But let's go back to the sequence of this presentation. We want to reinforce this message regarding the International Students and Scholars Office. Leticia already mentioned the existence of this office, which is dedicated only to immigration services. So if you have some questions, some concerns, or you have an immigration process in place in alignment with UT Dallas in terms of admissions, in terms of traveling, please contact directly the International Student and Scholars Office. This is an office that will take care of your immigration forms, will provide professional advising, will provide guidance regarding the maintaining the status of your student visa, could be your F1 visa, your J1 visa, in addition to appropriate immigration orientations whenever it's necessary. So this is a very, very helpful resource on campus, and you certainly may be in contact with these professionals of the International Students and Scholars Office already. Now, let's talk a little bit about the academics. Academics at UT Dallas. One key piece right here that you need to consider is that for you to be able to register your classes for your first semester at UT Dallas, you need to do it in collaboration, in communication with your corresponding academic advisor. That will be the only way possible for you to register classes in the first semester of your academic program at UT Dallas. To find your program advisor, you are welcome to visit the webpage, the website of academic programs, which is right here in front of us, utdallas.edu academics, and you may click on your major and degree level. Please ensure that this communication is happening in advance so you don't have surprises, because they will be the champions, the academic professionals that will provide the accurate guidance to really ensure that you have a successful first semester with the appropriate registration of classes based on your interests, based on your major, based on your time, and to be able to have a good balance in your weekly schedule in your first semester at UT Dallas. Something that we'd like to clarify right here is regarding UTD Holds. Holds are basically is a key indicator in your UT Dallas account when something may be pending. And it could be a positive hold or it could be a negative hold. In most cases, it could be a negative hold, meaning that you may be missing any of the institutional requirements that are expected to be completed or satisfied as a student at UT Dallas. In the past, we used to assign halls before you were coming to UT Dallas to ensure that you were meeting all these institutional requirements. But after what we have learned in the pandemic, we decided to do it in the opposite way. We'll be providing guidance through ICP, through many other offices here at UT Dallas, for you to be able to meet institutional requirements. But if for some reason you don't meet such institutional requirement, and a hold will be assigned in your UT Dallas account by the first day of classes. A clear example of this will be if for some reason you're missing the international student orientation or the TB test by the first day of classes, then a hold will be assigned with the corresponding information regarding the fact that you're missing the international student orientation and or the TB test. So please don't wait, be proactive, and ensure that in communication with these UT Dallas offices, let's say Intercultural Programs or International Student Offices or the Student Health Center, ensure that you are in communication and you're satisfying institutional requirements. As well, you may expect some holds from the UT Dallas academic departments if for some reason you're missing communication or you're not meeting some of the expectations in terms of the admission process. It could be the case that you're missing, for instance, an official transcript, and that will be the case, so a hold will be assigned by the Office of Admissions or the academic department in your UT Dallas account. So the recommendation is that you log in your Orion account on frequent basis, just to ensure that you don't have any holds. And if for some reason you have a hold, please contact directly the office, the UT Dallas office, which is assigned the hold in your UT Dallas account to clarify the situation and to be able to find guidance to release your hold at the first opportunity. One of the consequences for having a hold in your account is that you won't be able to continue your academic program at UT Dallas. In other words, you won't be able to register for classes in the following academic semester. So you don't want to be in that situation. Please ensure successful completion of institutional requirements, such as the international student orientation or the TB test or any other academic requirement. Tuition and fees. One of the most common questions that we receive for new international students is that when they can pay their tuition and fees and how much will be tuition and fee for a given semester. For you to obtain an accurate amount of the resources that you will have to pay for your first semester, that will happen after you register for classes. And for that, there is a specific office, which is a bursar's office, that will provide you the specific guidance regarding tuition and fees. And certainly the web page is available, and they provide virtual service to all international students to address any questions or concerns regarding tuition and fees. For information about payment deadlines, view the academic calendar for fall 2022. That is published as well in the UT Dallas webpage, specifically in the office of the registrar's office, and you will see the specific deadlines for payments. And another good resource for you to be able to see what could be in general the amount that you will have to pay for tuition and fees. If you go to this website that is included at the bottom of this slide, where you'll find a calculator to have a general sense of how much will be the total amount for tuition and fees. But keep in mind, at the end, the specific amount, the accurate amount to be paid for given semester, that will happen after you register for classes. Now, let's talk about arriving in Texas. We have a great partnership, and this is Big Howdy, which is a community partner that provides and facilitates airport pickups. And they have an amazing team that works closely with intercultural programs and with cultural student organizations on campus to facilitate pickups and transfer from DFW, from Love Airport to the UT Dallas campus. You will have to register to be able to request a pickup at the airport. And this is the